I was talking about, whilst it's a UK Security Expo, I was talking about the effectiveness and efficiency that can be pursued by integrating safety and security. There are differences, but there's more of an overlap, and if you pursue the two in a holistic approach, what you get from that product does lead to a more efficient and effective response. There's a variety. So in practical sense, people will often speak to an organisational construct which speaks to environment, safety and security. So they'll have a title, but it's in the response that it's really important. So what we're pursuing is a command platform which integrates all of the capabilities, whether it's safety, security, information security, blue light services, bringing them together so we can pursue our response from a consequence perspective rather than a catalyst perspective. That brings with it, there's a cost associated with that clearly, but also there's a cultural resistance and people live in their entities and trying to bring this together so we have an effective, what we call unified command approach. I think it'll be the people, notwithstanding technical and cost difficulty, it'll be the people that'll be key. There is, and interestingly in my presentation, I gave a sort of snapshot of existing legislation for security, and it goes on and on. There is a lot of legislation and regulation already. What I'm suggesting is that if you take a holistic view of safety and security regulation and you map that out, there is not a requirement for more. So some are advocating here that cyber requires legislation and regulation. Well, in part, yes. Operators around Heathrow, clearly something's required, and I understand that. But a carte blanche approach to it will just stymie the people like myself because it brings with it bureaucracy, time, expense. And from a nuclear perspective, we believe if you look at the totality of safety and security, there is no requirement for specific cyber regulation. We've got it covered, is essentially what I'm saying. The catalyst quite often isn't clear. What initiated that event? You're dealing with consequence and trying to then work out what was that. And unless you have people integrated together, used to operating together, trust and that which comes from exercising together, then your response is going to be fragmented. So integration and bringing these emergency responders together, I think is absolutely critical in terms of an effective and efficient response. The show just goes from strength to strength. And for me, there was 3 opportunities that brought me all the way down from Cumbria. And one was to avoid strike action up at Cumbria at the moment, but that's a different thing. It is a network of people here, and it isn't quite so much the products on the show here. It is the people and the ideas, where they're going with innovation. That's what interests me. There's a networking bit, and then obviously there was an opportunity for me to speak on how we're approaching this convergence of safety and security.